Tuesday continues here on One News Now. I'm Danny Laurel, bringing you the biggest headlines from around the world. U.S. President Joe Biden is hoping that there will be less intrusive action in Gaza's main hospital, Al-Shifa. Biden's statement comes as Israeli tanks took up positions at the gates of the hospital complex. This has become the chief target in Israel's battle to seize control of the northern half of the Gaza Strip. Gaza Health Ministry said 32 patients had died in the last 3 days, including 3 newborn babies as a result of the siege and the lack of power. In his first comment since the weekend's developments in Gaza, Biden said hospitals in the area must be protected.
We're in contact and we're with the Israelis. Also, there is an effort to take this pause to deal with the release of prisoners. And that's being negotiated as well with the Qataris that are engaged. And so I remain somewhat hopeful, but the hospital must be protected.
The Israeli military said it found signs that hostages were held at a hospital in Gaza. They shared a video and photograph showing weapons allegedly stored by Hamas in the basement of a children's hospital. Hostages also appeared to have been held in the area. Aside from weapons, the Israeli military also showed footage of what appeared to be rudimentary living quarters, including a nearby tunnel shaft, which he said led to the house of a senior Hamas naval commander. Hamas and hospital authorities in Gaza, meanwhile, have denied that health facilities have been used in this way. The armed wing of Hamas says they are ready to release some hostages in exchange for a 5-day truce. The group told Qatari mediators that they are willing to release 70 women and children. However, the truce must include a complete ceasefire and allowing aid and humanitarian relief everywhere in the Gaza Strip. The spokesman of the armed wing of Hamas also accused Israel of procrastinating and evading the price of the deal. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now World. I'm Danny Laurel. The defense officials of South Korea and the United States vowed to maintain pressure on North Korea despite global distractions. The two leaders say they agreed to boost joint drills as well as cooperation with Japan. This is to deter and better prepare for any North Korean attack. The defense chiefs of the United States, South Korea, and Japan have also agreed to start a real-time data sharing scheme on North Korean missiles by December. The former British leader, Prime Minister David Cameron, has been named Foreign Minister in a surprise appointment. Cameron was Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 2010 to 2016, resigning after the outcome of the Brexit referendum. He admitted that his new position was not, quote, usual, but hoped his experience in office would be proven useful. Cameron also reaffirmed his loyalty to the current Prime Minister Rishi Sunak after previously being dismissive of his leadership. The PM said he is confident that the new minister will build on everything that the country has achieved in the last year. The appointment is part of a reshuffle triggered by Sunak's firing of Interior Minister Suella Braverman after her criticism of the police. San Francisco is hosting this year's Apex Summit, a landmark event for both the city and international relations. More details in this report from the Associated Press.
This is the biggest meeting of world leaders that's happened here since 1945 when the UN was founded here. So this will really be a chance for San Francisco to showcase itself at its best, to bring in these world leaders, thousands of journalists from around the world, business leaders from top global corporations, and show them this is still an amazing place where you can get some great food and do some nice sightseeing as well as have important business meetings.
We're expecting tens of thousands of visitors and about $50 million in direct economic stimulus during that week. Of course, the benefit to the region goes far beyond just that week. We're looking at increasing and deepening economic ties and looking at ways to boost our travel and tourism economy. Unfortunately, when you hear about San Francisco, you hear about a lot of negative things. You hear about a tough economic cycle, you hear about people who are unhoused. But for those of us who are actually here in the city, we know that that is a small part of the picture of San Francisco.
I think what we found with people who are coming to San Francisco is many of those folks are saying, this is not what I thought it was going to be based on what's been in the media, because I think what happens sometimes is a moment, a snapshot is taken, and it's not always San Francisco, it's sometimes the Bay Area, it's someplace in some other city, and it's attributed to San Francisco. So I think we've gotten a lot of unfair press, not to suggest that we don't have challenges like any other major city, but we think that because we're expecting 2,200 press from around the world, that it'll give them a chance to experience San Francisco.
People will be disrupted. The main focus that we're all here for is public safety and the safety of this event. There will be places where we won't allow access, and we are prepared to deal with that if we have unhoused people that are displaced. They will have opportunities for shelter, they will have opportunities for help, but the main thing is to make sure that it's a safe environment. SFPD is working to ensure First Amendment activity is properly facilitated and remains peaceful. And let me just be very, very clear. Any acts of violence against any members of the public or against law enforcement will not be tolerated.
And those are the top world headlines of the hour. Join us again at 9:45 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Dani Laurel. We are One News, all sides, all the time.